Right now, I want everyone to think of a game or hobby. Now, I want you to think of certain characteristics or elements of the game or hobby that you chose. What are some characteristics that you have thought of? Through my speech, I'm going to speak about certain elements and characteristics of games, and while I do, I want you to see if the chosen game or hobby that you chose is something that I mentioned. Playing a card game is a great pastime. I think we all know that, especially when being in front of a screen over a couple hours becomes uncomfortable. Card games are especially useful for meeting new people. But every single person on this planet is a master of something, whether it's something that we do for fun or something that we master through having it doing over and over and over again. With the ongoing pandemic, social interactions are tough. Research from the Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich found that antisocial contacts show negative effects such as stress. Many games today are focused on being able to connect players on the other side of the world via the internet, and often the genuine socializing factor is often forgotten. Card and role-playing games have seen a huge spike in sales as binging The Office on Netflix becomes boring after a time. Shocking, I know. But while social contact in the 21st century is extremely important, entertainment is more important more than ever. Card games are cheaper than online video games. Unlike many video and online games, card games work on a physical basis with no hidden costs. Once you buy the card, it is yours as long as you want it with no season passes, like Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Battlefield. And to make multiple decks against any competitor could cost more than the average war game or video game, yes, but you'll be free from any bunny hoppers, griefers, or hackers. And being free from trolls and hackers is great. I think we could all agree on that. But what's even better is freedom from discrimination or hate. Online video games have seen a reputation for racist and overall not friendly chatter, such as Counter-Strike Global Offensive or CSGO, game that I played personally for 3 years. And it is known to be filled with racist, homophobic players, and trust me, I've encountered those people through the years. But this type of behavior ruins a player's enjoyment. Any type of game is meant to be played for enjoyment. This is what drags attention to card games. Surrounding the current COVID-19 pandemic, Hasbro has seen an increase in sales regarding their Hasbro gaming category. And as you may find the occasional troll, card games are especially known for being a fun, casual experience. But card games have also moved to online versions. With people being stuck inside, manufacturers have developed online versions of their beloved games. And this gives the consumer, such as yourself, the ability to enjoy various games without losing their tabletop enjoyment, which is perfect while we were in quarantine for 3 months, and binging old shows start to become boring. But are there any unique card games that is recommended while we are stuck in quarantine still? My solution to you is Magic the Gathering, or often called Magic. Magic is a card game that is set in its own universe, with a complex but interesting storyline. Magic creates a social and affordable and an all-inclusive community for those who play or are interested in playing. And the most popular form of Magic is the face-to-face competition. It's a social hobby, and with that, you meet new people through your local game stores, and it's estimated that 20 million people, with half of that playing in the United States. However, with the current COVID-19 quarantine, playing Magic is difficult in a tabletop setting, but currently there are multiple Discord servers or Zoom meetings where you can queue up and play your favorite formats, which is something that me and my friends personally do. But Magic is not only a fun game to play experience, but the community allows anyone from any race, religion, or lifestyle. This is attractive to new people who are looking to dip their toes into the Magic the Gathering universe. But also people who play Magic over Zoom. Wizards of the Coast, the company that facilitates and prints out Magic the Gathering cards, developed 2 online versions of the game, MTG Arena and MTG Online, which gives players who are stuck at home still the option to play their beloved game against real competitors. But now you may be thinking, Caesar, spending $200 on cardboard cards is ridiculous. You're right, but let me give you an example. In my hand, I have a deck that's worth $1,500. I can sell these cards to an online company that runs at $1,450. But the point of this example is to show you that all Magic cards, while being just paper and amazing artwork, hold value for certain cards. If I were to sell that deck right now, I would lose $50. But look at it this way. Losing $50 to play a game that allowed me to meet new people who have become good friends of mine over the years, well, that's the best $50 I ever spent. But you may have also heard that the game is very complicated. Magic the Gathering is considered the most complicated game, even more complicated than chess. But don't let that fact discourage you. If you're a beginner, Magic is easy to comprehend. The game gets more and more challenging through the complication of the deck, but semi-competitive decks that have around 200 to 350 have some difficulty, but once you start getting familiar with the rules and your own deck, the game will become much easier. Trust me. And I want everyone to think of a product or service that didn't meet your expectations. For me, it was ordering a Starbucks cold brew for the first time. When I took a sip of that cold brew, I instantly knew that I wasn't a coffee guy. And I spent $6 just to find that out. Now, as previously stated, buying Magic cards for decks allows you some flexibility. You go online, look up decks that interest you, buy the cards, and if you do not like Magic, selling the cards back is easy. Unlike that $6 coffee that sat in my cart, because no one's going to want to buy a used coffee. So, first, visit MTG Goldfish and look at various formats starting to Magic the Gathering. You can choose from EDH to Standard to Vintage if you have the money for Vintage. Get familiar with the chosen formats, as all of them have certain characteristics that make them unique compared to the other ones. I personally recommend EDH or Commander, where it's a 4-player game, 100-card deck, 100-card decks that all work in unison surrounding one card, which is your Commander card. And then once you get decks that interest you, order your cards at Card Kingdom, TCG Player, or your local game store. Luckily, if you enjoy the game, your passion will only grow. Magic players are everywhere, and once this COVID-19 crisis is over, visit your local game store to see what events they offer and at what time. Visiting your local game store will give you the Magic experience that has tracked 20